89.7. And of course, I got my special guest with me, Tanya Baldwin, Gishwhes, here celebrating the event that's going to be taking place this Saturday. How was that? Was that good?
That was very good. That was very good.
Tanya is actually associated with the Chazapalooza event that's taking place this Saturday in support to try and understand, I guess, raise money and, of course, for mental health. And, of course, this is the second year this event has gone on in support of Chaz, who was a victim last year. I'm going to say he was a victim last year of mental illness. And, of course, he's the event was put together, and in part the people actually helped create what is known as the Chaz Foundation.
Yes.
And of course, the Chazapalooza is in its second year in Coburg. Welcome. Good morning to the show.
Good morning. Thanks. So I kind of came across this by accident. I'm from Edmonton and just home visiting family, and my nephew is friends with family that was very, very close with Chaz. So they had mentioned Chaz's story. So last weekend I went down to Coburg Beach and I gave out hugs for $1 with donations going to mental illness. And after about 3 hours I had raised $51, which I donated to the Chaz Foundation. And this Saturday the event's going from 10 a.m. until 9 p.m. At the bandshell, and I will be there doling out hugs. I can't say all day, but for most of it. I have been told I give out the best hugs ever, so please come down and hug me and find out.
There you go, yeah.
But yeah, it's really important. I work as a nurse, and you see it all the time. Mental illness, there's a lot of stigma associated with it, and oftentimes people just fall through the cracks. You can't X-ray it. You can't.
No. Well, again, it is one of those things that, unless of course you know the history of the people you're dealing with, it's very tough to diagnose that's what it is. And 9 times out of 10. It's usually diagnosed too late.
Yes.
And as a result of Chaz Petrillo, a young gentleman who was affected by this last year, and of course ended up taking his own life. And so the community as a whole kind of gathered together and held this fantastic event that took place in the park at Victoria Park down here in Coburg. This year's Chazapalooza will be having performing artists such as the Spirits, the Tunamatics will be there. And of course, Coburg's viral piano man, Michael McNamara, will also be there. Lots of great things going on. There'll be some fantastic events such as sumo wrestling, rock climbing, bouncy castles, and all sorts of things. This is your first year in association with this particular event, and that's only because you're visiting family from out of town.
Yes, I tend to visit in the August around the August time. So, yeah.
So this is probably not going to be your
probably not my last
time at this particular event. Talk to me a little bit about Gishwhes.
So Gishwhes it actually stands, it's an acronym. It stands for the greatest international scavenger hunt the world has ever seen. It was created by Misha Collins, who's a star of Supernatural, and it runs yearly, and every year, I think it's 7 times now that it's been in the Guinness Book of World Records for actually being the largest scavenger hunt. People get together in teams of 15, and there's a list of over 200 items that you try to accomplish. You cannot accomplish them all. And it has a lot of things where you're giving back to the community or highlighting things. There's crazy things like, get into cosplay as a stormtrooper and do, a picture of what a stormtrooper's cleaning a pool would look like. Things like that. But there's a lot of stuff where it really pushes towards random acts of kindness and giving back to the community. And that's what spawned this whole thing with me was, one, there was an item to give out hugs where you did it for donations, which I chose to do for mental health. And the other thing was, what thing would make the world a better place? Just one thing. And to me, it's giving back. If you give back to the community and you bond together in that way, I think it would just make the world a better place. So with that's what got me involved into the Chaz through my nephew and his friends, and them bringing that to my attention. And Gishwhes is amazing, and I really hope that this Chazapalooza event, it brings a lot of awareness and a lot of funds for mental health.
Well, it certainly seems to be bringing definitely a lot of awareness because I mean it is one of those things that you yourself may not be indirectly associated with, but I'm sure you probably have a friend and or know somebody who actually is dealing with this debilitating problem. Again, tickets are $20 for adults, $15 for teens. And of course, kids under 12 are free from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. And of course, there's going to be lots of great things involved there as well. Last year's event was very, very good. I was there myself, and I know this year the event is expecting to spawn probably I would say with all the activity going on in around the Northumberland area over the past few weeks. With the Sandcastle and the Waterfront Festival and stuff like that. The Jazzapalooza event has been posted, and a lot of people are aware that it's going on. So this year here, I would expect it to be a bigger turnout than last year. Now, again, it's being held at the Victoria Park in Coburg on August the 8th from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. And lots of great things going on. Do you know of some of the highlights we can expect to see at this particular event, or?
Not too much. I do know they're bringing in as many performers as possible and trying to make it an all ages event.
Well, they have like they got like a rock climbing wall, they got a bouncy castle for the kids. I'm sure there'll be some face painting, face painting,
and you get hugs, right?
And the hugs are going to be there, but the hugs are not free.
No,
they are $1.
They are $1 at least. You can donate more, and I'll give a bigger hug. But
there you go. Definitely well worth it in my books, guys. Come on out to the Jazzapalooza Festival there. It's a concert in support of children and youth with mental health. And again, it's also interesting to note that it's not just kids and children and just youth that deal with this struggling debilitation. People from all ages.
All ages, all walks of life. Mental illness does not discriminate.
It definitely does not discriminate at all. So people are encouraged to come on out Saturday. Victoria Park, enjoy the music, activities. Lots of vendors will be there. And, of course, much, much more. All the support to Jazzapalooza, the creation of the Chaz Foundation. Again, it's just a coming together to remember Chaz Petrello, who died by suicide on August 21st last year. And, of course, to bring awareness to mental health. The second we continue to remember, we can hopefully be on the forefront of what's going on. Because the second things just get put in the back burner, that's when things start to unravel, as it were. So it's very important that we are very mindful of this. Any more information that you wish to share as far as the event on Saturday?
No, I just think that it's just really important that people show up. This is something that, like we were just saying, it doesn't discriminate, so it's important that you recognize.
You're a nurse in Edmonton.
Yep.
Okay, so as a nurse in Edmonton, do you come up with this? Like, are you faced with this every once in a while?
Absolutely, and it's not just being faced with it in the sense of coming across, and it's bigger now, mental illness, whether it's depression, anxiety, or any of the other mental illnesses that are out there. It's bigger now than it's ever been before. I struggle with depression and anxiety myself, so I don't just deal with it from a nursing perspective, but I also deal with it personally. And it's really challenging because I don't think that they fully understand what causes it in a lot of cases, and it is being not necessarily treated the way that it needs to be. There's a lot of different types of therapies out there and a lot of different kinds of medications, but the medications don't work for everybody, and I'm not one that would push for people to get medicated anyway. I think there's other ways to look at it. So yeah, you see it a lot, and unfortunately there's still that stigma associated with it. You know, one of the biggest things with depression is people saying, just be happy.
Yeah.
What do you have to be so sad about?
What's wrong with you?
Like, what do you have? Like, you have a great life. Why are you sad?
And nothing to worry about here.
Yeah, and they don't understand that it's way more deep than that. It's just not about getting up and putting a smile on your face and being happy, or looking at the life that you have and saying, I have every reason to be happy. And that's, you know, the true issue with mental illness is that people don't understand it.
I think you've hit the nail right on the head there. I think the thing is that people just, if you're not affected by it, there's no way you can properly understand it. And it's very important to try to get some sort of word out there so people can be a little bit more accepting, a little bit more understanding when it comes to something like this. Again, my guest today has been Tanya Baldwin, and again, thank you very much for coming in, Tanya.
No problem. I just wanted to add one last thing on that, though.
For sure.
The more the awareness gets out there and the less that the stigma is that's associated with mental illness, the more people are going to come forward and get treatment. And a lot of people don't choose to get treatment because they don't want to be stigmatized.
Well, and that brings up a rather interesting point, too, because I'm sure not a lot of people actually know or recognize exactly what it is they're going through.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're not constantly down every day.
No.
Some days are great days,
Yep.
and as you know, I mean, you do have some great days.
You
and
have
you
great
have some bad days.
days.
I mean, that's just the way it is, and not a lot of people are actually aware of exactly whether or not they are affected by some form of mental illness or otherwise, right?
Yeah.
Either be depression or whatever the case may be.
Absolutely.
Some people just don't recognize it until it's too late, and of course, the family around them also don't see it for what it is.
Yes, absolutely.
And that's another problem as well. So, come on out to this fantastic event, the Chazapalooza, in its second year. And of course, advance tickets are now available. You can pick them up. Of course, there are door prizes. I believe Avril Lavigne has donated another signed guitar.
Yep.
And of course, they'll be auctioning that off, or raffling that off as well. And of course, a great turnout, like I said, last year. This year, we're expecting it to be even bigger. And of course, I'm sure it will be. And of course, as the word gets out with the great help such as Tanya and others, it's going to be a fantastic event. Let's hope this is not your last visit to this event. I think it's something that probably needs to catch fire. I think we need to have it in every city, in every province across Canada, and hopefully worldwide. Again, thank you very much for joining me, Tanya.
Thank you, Tim.
And again, come on out, Chazapalooza. That's this Saturday from 10 till 9, and of course some great music, some great fun, and of course just a lot of great memories there. And of course everything being donated to the Chazapalooza Foundation, the Chaz Foundation, a great cause in our community. It's 9:25 out there. Here is Summer House.